Education budget cuts are nothing new to Arizona, but one district is feeling the strain more than the rest. Our team of reporters went to Pinal County and the city of Apache Junction, where the lack of funding has called for some drastic measures. Carrie Adam joins us now.
Apache Junction School District has had to close 3 schools in the past 5 years. And with decreasing enrollment and no additional funding on the way, keeping the remaining schools open may be a challenge.
I'm very sad about the loss of this school.
Superstition Mountain Elementary School was the longest standing school in the Apache Junction School District, but it is set to close at the end of the current school year.
I think it's a shame that these kids are not our top priority.
Apache Junction currently has a $3.3 million budget deficit and is struggling to come up with the funds to support itself.
The reasons we got here aren't things that happened overnight. This is one of the first districts to lose its override funding.
Without the proper funding, the district has had to resort to school closures and changing over to a 4-day school week.
What choice do we have? We have to make cuts. And at $3.3 million, they're going to be hard cuts.
One of the biggest concerns for parents like Cami Garcia are the larger class sizes.
Each school will have 700 plus students. I think that it's going to be hard for a teacher to be able to do what they need to do in a longer period now that we have 4 days.
Apache Junction has had difficulty retaining teachers, but according to a district poll, 61% of teachers would stay despite no pay raise if they went to the 4-day week.
If you want to attract teachers and keep them, then you've got to be able to pay them competitively. One thing that they could offer teachers that is just as valuable as money is time.
The struggles of the school district have led community members to form a group called SOS, Save Our Schools.
I love our community, I have a passion for our community, and I'm not going to give up on the kids.
SOS works to inform community members and encourages them to get involved and support. But there is only so much they can do.
We live in a state that is trying to destroy public education, and I do believe that.
State Board of Education Vice Chairman Doug Coleman says that the lack of funding has sent them in a downward spiral.
What the real problem is we're not fundamentally funding the base.
And the budget cuts are still far from over.
Heart-wrenching already, the decisions that have been made. And now we want to cut another $600,000. I don't know where.
SOS hopes to persuade the community to vote in favor of education next year so that their schools may receive the funds necessary to stay open. In Apache Junction, I'm Carrie Adams, Cronkite News.
I'm Mark Benguri in Apache Junction, and I'm here with Superintendent Chad Wilson. Dr. Wilson, what are the struggles that the district is facing with retaining teachers?
You know, one of the challenges we have in Apache Junction, I think across the state of Arizona, is making sure that we're able to attract and retain quality teachers. And in our district, one of the real challenges is being able to offer the competitive salaries that our neighboring districts do. And we know as educators that the best thing we can do for kids is provide a quality teacher, quality bus driver, quality food service. But when you can't pay what our neighboring districts can pay, that becomes more and more difficult to do. And so part of our goal throughout this process has been to not only balance our budget, but also to look for solutions that give us a competitive edge in order to attract and retain folks that we know are going to do good things for our kids.
And how can the community get involved to help support the district and make sure they're funded?
Well, I think the community can do a lot of different things to get involved, and what I tell folks is the best way to get involved is to be an active, proactive member of our democracy. And so take the opportunity when elections come around to really get registered and recognize what candidates stand for and recognize the power that your vote has. We know, though, that those elections don't come around every single day, so that's the first thing. The second thing is I think any time a community member wants to support us, there's always ways to do that, by volunteering in our district, by helping to support some of our reading programs, but there's certainly also other organizations within the district that allow individuals to be a little bit more proactive in that political environment if they choose to want to get involved that way as well.
And the group Save Our Schools, do they have any upcoming meetings that community members can attend?
They do, and if our community would like to take a look at our website or reach out to us, we can pass on those meeting dates. I think what's so neat about the Save Our Schools is it's really kind of a grassroots approach to trying to shape the discussion within our local community about what really matters, and from our perspective, that's educating our kids.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Live in Apache Junction, Mark Mangura, Cronkite News.